Good morning. We are out in the kitchen and we're going to have a salad. No. We're going to transplant some tobacco. These plants are getting huge. That's what she said. And they need to be taken out of the container they're in. I've waited too long. Probably a couple weeks too long. But I wanted to harvest the castings in the worm in and the flow through, so I'd have castings to use, because I'll be needing a lot of that and a lot of potting soil for all of these. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use half-gallon, gallon containers, but cut in half. I'll show you that here in a minute. They worked out fine last year. If you looked at my last year's video, I showed you what the root system looked like of all the plants that I pulled up, and all of them were shallow, so they don't grow really deep. I mean, less than a foot, maybe 10 inches. Some of the longest thin roots, but most of the roots were maybe 6-8 inches. It wasn't much of a root system. So the tobacco does have a shallow root system, so they don't really need much space when starting out. But they'll do better once you transplant them out of this one container into their own, so they feel like they're by themselves, and then they can grow a lot faster. I saw it happen last year. It was just like, I took them out, and within a week or two, saw improvements compared to what they were, they're in now. So let's have a look at the tobacco and get to starting to transplant them. So as I said, it does look like a salad, but these are nice, healthy leaves. And there's a smell to them already. I can't really say what the smell is. It's just, it's not tobacco smell. It's, like a plant smell, like a fresh plant smell. It doesn't smell like a flower, standing here, but that's what it looks like. And each one of these plants are going to be taken out carefully and then put in another container. I'll probably just pull the plant out and show you afterwards, because doing it this way, I need two hands transplanting these out. So this is half of a gallon milk container I used last year, and it should work out fine. Maybe I'll put two plants per container on this, and that's about half of the container usable. I've got other containers to use also. So this is, what I use. I try to reuse everything I have. All the containers that we go through, use it for some aspect of gardening or carrying water around here or catching water. So let's transplant this one out. And if we look carefully, there are going to be worms in the soil. I only found that one so far. There's one right there. So the worms from my castings are going to fertilize, aerate, and improve the soil while this is growing. Most of my plants have worms in them, or pots that I grow them in. I've had no problems, just as long as I keep the soil moist enough for the worms to live in. Oh, and this time the worm castings have coffee grounds in them, because I put coffee grounds in them to survive till I used it. So it still has some coffee grounds mixed in with this, which that should provide more nitrogen into the soil. So that'll be a different type of mix this year I'm using. We'll see how it works. Should work fine though. Worms should eat the coffee grounds give a little poop and fertilize the plant. So let me take out the plants and I'll show you the roots, how the roots look on them before I put them in the other container. Okay, I took out 3 plants. Had a little time taking them out. They're all clumped together, so some of your leaves might break off, which it happens. You know, you're not gonna keep a plant together itself. And so that's the 3 that I'm going to put in here. I think it should survive nicely. And then we have the root system of each plant. So there are some roots. So let me get to planting these in, and I'll show you what it looks like. I think I'm going to keep the leaves on the bottom and just, you know, plant up to about here as they were and let them survive like that. I'm not going to rip the leaves off of them like I do tomatoes or peppers, and they should survive nicely. So after evaluating how I was going to do it, I did pull some of the smaller leaves off because they were close to the soil or underneath. So I just put mostly the stem, well, I did put the stem and the roots only down there. Planted it just a little bit deeper. We'll see what happens, you know. Compared to just the roots, planted a little bit more. And you know, they're thin. They're not thick stems like other plants. So you have to press the soil just a little bit more than you would to hold them there, at least upright. So I have only 4 of those, and I still have all those. I'll probably transplant a few more out of these. But yeah, I just wanted to show you basically what the root system looked like of a seedling, well, I guess a small plant, you know, of these, of how big the roots are. At least what I do. I mean, other people might have different things that they do, you know, with their plants, but we're trying this out this year. And last year I only put 1 plant per container, so this is something new for me. Trying 4 plants per container. Looks like enough room. They're not going to be there that long, hopefully another month or so. Once it warms up enough, they're going to be going in the front yard. Yes, my front yard. If you haven't seen last year's video, that's where I grew all my tobacco plants last year. Well, everything basically was in my front yard. I haven't had a lawn since we moved in. We tried 1 year and that was it. The rest of the year there hasn't been a lawn at my house. No need for it. I don't care for lawns. I'd rather have people growing things in their front yards or backyards instead of a lawn, but that's my opinion. I mean, it's more useful space. You can grow food, you can grow flowers, you can grow tobacco like I do. So that's what I wanted to show you today, was just the transplant. I'm not going to bring you through the whole, you know, doing the others. I'll do a few more, keep the smaller ones in the container, let them grow up some more. Looks like this year I'm going to even have more tobacco than I know what to do with. If all of these are, you know, being able to survive. You know, some might die, I don't know. You know, you can't predict what your plants are going to do. But yeah, if all these, probably 20 plants, if they all grow to maturity, which I had people congratulating me or giving me thumbs up basically last year walking by. What are those? I've never seen those type of flowers. And you tell them, they're going, No way, those aren't tobacco. Well, yeah, those are tobacco. So if you haven't seen last year's video, go back and look at what the flowers look like on these tobacco plants. The hummingbirds and other birds love them. I had at least 2 or 3 hummingbirds flying around last year on the tobacco, near the tobacco plants. So, thanks for watching. If you're new, please subscribe. Please comment, and please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this, and if you learned something. Hopefully you did. Hopefully, you learned something from each of my videos, or at least take an idea, go with it, or improve it on your own. And share your ideas of what you have going. I'd like to see, what you're planting, what you're growing, So thanks for watching.